Head to the upper sanctum. I've got this. I'm pretty happy with how things have gone. Actually, make that delighted. I originally thought I'd just about make it to the entrance below for a quick look around. It was all thanks to you, Lass, and to think what a waste it would have been if I'd gone to... Roar? What do you mean by sneaking out? Okay, so here's the thing. I left without telling my friends and family in the tribe. Oh, didn't I tell you before? Wait a sec. Isn't that running away? So this is the upper sanctum, huh? From down below, you'd think it was all gray and empty up here. Roar! Who'd have thought it would be like this? Indeed. It is said that the floating matter here is held together by the power of phlogiston, itself a highly vigorous energy source. It's a strange phenomenon, but that's the best way to understand it for now. This also explains not only why grass and flowers grow above it, but also how it warms cooled earth anew and ignites conflagration of souls in the darkness. This is the phlogiston, won for us by the Sage of the Stolen Flame, snatched from the very claws of the giant dragon. And speaking of which, that reminds me, when some people in the tribe lay eyes upon the upper sanctum, they have the nerve to doubt that a mere human could create such floating islands through the power of phlogiston, thus concluding that the Sage of the Stolen Flame must have been a kind of dragon too. Roar? People are free to think what they want. I know several humanoid dragons, so who am I to question it? I understand that changing the way other people think about the world can be nigh on impossible, but why, if it doesn't drive me up a wall? Just because they couldn't do it themselves, they insist that anyone who could must have been superhuman. I'd rather not hang around with people who have such a losing mentality. Anyway, what about the treasure and the elixir? Given that's what we've come for, it doesn't look like there's much for us here. Roar. You didn't actually think this was going to be that simple, did you? We're being put to the test by the mad Sage of the Stolen Flame, after all. If the ancient scrolls are right, we must find some mechanisms to activate, complete the final trial, and then reach the center of the upper sanctum. But I have no more idea than you as to what this so-called center is supposed to look like. Thinking back, I'm sure the images of the floating islands I've seen before were a bit different from what we're seeing now. But it's possible that as I've aged, even my memory, which I was once so proud of, is becoming unreliable. Anyway, seeing as we've come this far, let's rely on our intuition instead. So how exactly are we going to activate these mechanisms? You should be able to activate them using phlogiston, just like with the phlogiston engraving. That's what's shown in the scrolls, anyhow. Apparently the phlogiston chiseliths all over Natland were based on the mechanisms here, making these mechanisms incredible relics in and of themselves. Well, lass, you've shown great promise so far. Time you went and gave it a try, huh? Okay. Oh, we're on a new quest. We are on Seeker No Finding. And we have a new teleporter, which is very nice. Okay. Interesting. Okay, well, thank you, Wind Current. This would have been annoying without you. Too bad I don't need these quill things anymore. Huh, that's odd. In theory, these things constitute an even more ancient... I don't know what she said. We'll never know. We'll never know. There's another quest. Ew. Huh. There is another quest there. Dang. It disappeared after Storm touched it? Those that would receive the flame go to the monument where it seeds something. Sure, magical inscription thing. I'll do stuff. Hi.
Stabilize.
I see everything. Everyone hold hands. Buckle up.
Where am I trying to go? Where is the... It's up there. Aha. There's a treasure chest over there. Hold on. Hold the phone. We're getting this treasure chest. It belongs to me.
I told you today's our lucky day.
Okay, now we can continue our regularly scheduled program. Okay. Oh, another teleporter. Man, this one quest has unlocked 3 teleporters for us. 3 teleporters locked behind one world quest is a lot.
Let's ride.
Hi. Explore the floating island. Roar? Those that would receive the flame complete the trial and head to the floating island. Like, okay, I'm on the floating island. We should be fine, right? Surely we'll be fine. This should be the last mechanism. This one's no different from the others. Chikia, you sure you haven't fallen for some kind of trick? Roar. Of course not. When it comes to deciphering ancient scrolls, I have great confidence. Some confidence. Well, a certain degree of confidence in my abilities. Your confidence is shrinking by the second. Help. Anyway, I'm fairly sure this isn't the last mechanism. If I remember rightly, it should be larger and more complete. Floating islands. Young lass, irrespective of the great promise you've shown, no one will understand you unless you speak in full sentences. As for whether the treasure is real and the elixir really exists, well, you'll know once you've given it a try. Roar! If it doesn't work this time, it'll work the next. And if not here, then somewhere else. As long as you stay in the game, a miracle's bound to happen sooner or later. Your optimism truly knows no bounds. I'll take that as a compliment. Roar! See, Koishi's excited too. Come on then, Storm. Use phlogiston to activate the mechanism. Oh, okay. Huh, the iridescent inscription turned into that ball. Okay, looks like this is the final trial.
Carving waves.
Roar. Could the spirit way be the final trial? I don't know, maybe. I'm just gonna assume I'm doing well. And hope for the best. I think we're doing fine. I didn't expect it to have the jumpy parts. Okay, here we are. Where are we going? Where are we going? How do normal people do this without a Mulati? Dang, this trial is kind of intense. Ah, the iridescent inscription. It's gone again. So the whole point was to touch the inscriptions? I don't know. I hate this angle. That's for sure. Where am I going? Roar? Hidden ahead. Huh? Storm, is Paimon seeing things? How come she feels, that is the center of the upper sanctum? Huh, so does that mean the whole point of these... Oh my gosh, I hate auto-scrolling text. It's so freaking annoying. No one can read that fast. You need to leave it on screen long enough for a person to have physically spoken it out loud. I'm here now. Interesting. Well, I never. A hidden island in the center of the upper sanctum. And there I was, wondering why it looked so different from what I saw in the pictures. So my memory's fine after all. I wouldn't be in charge of looking after all those ancient woven scrolls if it wasn't. But apart from that even larger rock in the middle, there's nothing else here. Or could this giant rock itself be the sage's legendary gift? Roar? At this point, I'm genuinely stumped. In all the scrolls I've seen, when the heroes pass the trial and reach this place, they should sense the spirit of the Sage of the Stolen Flame. As long as you've reached this place by passing the trial, you're supposed to feel as if you're being called somehow. But I've no idea what that means in practice. I was under the impression that I'd be able to work that out once I got here. That I could. Looks like that was wishful thinking. Stretch out your hand, chosen of. Reach out to me. This is the final trial with this light something. Roar? Then do you know what it means? Roar. You saw something? You saw something. Gracious me. So the one worthy of the gift was you after all, young lass. I mean, I was the one that did the trial. You just came along for the ride. So it makes sense that I would be the one worthy. Huh? Paimon didn't see anything either. Weird. I saw a golden pattern. Roar, roar. A golden pattern? You mean the same one you saw the first time you met Koishi? Wait, Paimon thought you were just seeing things back there. Roar, roar. Koishi, telling Paimon to look up's no use. She can't see it, but seeing as you've said it's there, it's definitely the same person that left the golden pattern before. So maybe the one that left it behind was the Sage of the Stolen Flame. What? You mean to say that you've previously been given a sign by the Sage of the Stolen Flame? I said you had a bright future ahead of you, lass, and what lies before you now? But a future oh so radiant. I knew you showed great promise. I wouldn't have taken a shine to you otherwise. So, have you figured out how to receive the gift? Roar. Yeah, I just have to reach out towards the giant stone. Roar. I don't want to do this with this team. I knew I should have switched to teams.
Let's ride!
Okay, it's fine. Mulan is ridiculously OP, so it's fine. There are birds now. The water level has risen somewhat, and the spring's now full of phlogiston. The water below my knees is warm, and I can feel a warmth flowing through my limbs. A lovely sensation. So the sage's gift wasn't an elixir that can cure all injuries, but rather the hot springs here. Paimon's not exactly surprised, given the people of the springs aren't far off. Roar. Koishi's looking pretty cozy there. This isn't just any old hot spring, little floaty Paimon. Once a hero who has been chosen bathes in this spring, they'll be granted the power to wield phlogiston. Really? So what'll happen if Paimon dives in? Good question. Yeah, I think I know. You'd still be Paimon, just a soaking wet one. What? Ugh, Paimon thought she might get to use phlogiston too, and transform into some kind of super awesome Pyro Paimon. Sadly, I think not, because you haven't been chosen. Wait a minute, Chikia. You knew that this hot spring would be the final gift, yet you claimed you were searching for an elixir that can cure all injuries, and that you'd share it with us too. There are so many types of injury in the world. How could you possibly expect a single elixir to be able to heal them all? But when it comes down to it, wisdom is the solution to all worries. Yes, I tricked you this time, little Paimon, but when we make mistakes, we learn from them and take one step closer to resolving our worries. Isn't that a wonderful outcome too? Huh. Okay. That actually kind of makes sense. Have you learned how to use phlogiston? Even if I took a bath in a hot spring filled with phlogiston, I would still be unable to use it. In the past, so the ancient scrolls say, tribespeople who could not already wield phlogiston only ever learned to do so by passing the trial. So it hasn't had any effect at all. Wait, you're clearly from Natlan, but you can't use phlogiston? Roar? Paimon, you know, these delayed responses of yours can be quite hurtful at critical moments like this. Yes, nearly everyone in Natlan can use phlogiston, but nearly is not all. When I was very young, I once suffered a grave injury in connection with the abyss. It was a miracle that I even survived, and I was in terrible health. I told you I could jump great distances with an ictomosaur on my back, but I'd be fooling you, for ictomosaurs can float up and make themselves as light as a feather, so they don't weigh a thing. It may well be due to this injury that I am unable to use phlogiston. No matter what I try, I simply can't do it. I've racked my brains, pored over all kinds of different scrolls. Though others view them as virtually obsolete, I am well versed in analyzing phlogiston engraving through patterns. I put lots of effort into memorizing all the meanings, honing a great memory while doing so. For me, teaching the children of our tribe the basics about phlogiston was also an opportunity to observe how they would discover the ability to use it. And speaking of which, I'm quite popular with the children. I know everything there is to know about phlogiston, and the more I understand, the more in awe of it I am. But the more awe I feel, the more regret and frustration I feel for not being able to wield it myself. It was all thanks to you that we were able to make it through all those trials. I understand that to learn skills like our ancestors did, sacrifices must be made. But I simply don't have that kind of courage. Perhaps that's why I can't use phlogiston. Shikya. Roar. It's all right. I came to terms with it a long time ago. If it doesn't work this time, there's always next time. I'll find a way eventually. Thank you so much. I'm grateful for everything you've done for me, Storm. I know I keep saying it, but you have a fine future ahead of you, lass. Not only are you amazingly talented, but you're so kind as well. Unlike me, for whom everything seems to be set in place now. Lass, I'm sure you'll have many more incredible adventures to look forward to. I'm a little jealous, to be honest. Storm, young lass full of promise, wherever the road takes you, may your travels be smooth forever and always. The same to you. I'm sure you'll achieve your aspirations. Even if there's no elixir that can cure all injuries, Paimon's sure you'll find an elixir that can cure your injuries. Roar. Thank you, Paimon Storm. And last but not least, Koishi. Your words have genuinely moved me, Storm. Really, I'm touched by what you've said, lass, because you're someone that people can count on. All right, let me rest here a while longer. This hot spring's mighty relaxing after all. I'll soak in here for a bit, then get back to poring through ancient scrolls for a cure. I might be in for a scolding for running off from home, though. But just as you said, lass, I'll have to work hard to achieve my aspirations. Oh, I got a trophy for that. Sure. Interesting. Oh, it's you. The young lass with the bright future ahead of her. What's up? Journey got you tired enough for a soak in the hot spring? Well, I haven't learned how to use phlogiston yet. I imagine you haven't. I spoke to you literally 10 seconds ago. But my back's no longer killing me as much as before. That's a win. So at least it seems like the healing effects here is better than over at the People of the Springs. Though I'm still a long, long way away from achieving my real goal, not having such a bad back, thanks to this hot spring, surely counts for about, say, 10%. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. I want to collect all of the regional specialties while we're here. I need to get up there. I'm sorry, what? Luxurious chest?
I told you today's our lucky day.
Thank you. Alright, got my Oculus. Okay. Well, we still have a little bit of time, so I kind of want to go see... So I'm just missing one of these. I kind of want to go see what the quest down beneath us is. What is this? Thing. Complete between pledge and forgettance. Complete other quests to start. Interesting. How long do I have for this? 47 days? Okay, well. Rip